Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. I avoid wrinkly balls at all cost. Well, it's okay. So I get the testicles are supposed to be wrinkly. I understand why. Like I said, the bellows.
The ball sack is supposed to be wrinkly. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But it's like sometimes what's really weird to me is if testicles are cold and wrinkly at the same time.
I mean, they get more wrinkly because
everything
sack
shrinks up,
and then it's
just a weird mental thing. Like, oh, are you scared of my warm hands? Or that's the even creepier thing is when you grab wrinkly cold balls, all of a sudden they're not so wrinkly.
Yeah,
they like sit there like a fat guy eating a hot soup. It's like it's anyways. But you're the one who watches the weird. I moisturize my balls 4 times a day. My testicles, he said, 4 times a day. And they're still wrinkly. Guess what? I pray to Jesus 4 times a day and I still want to hit bitches.
What was that thing that you saw the other day? It was like, "Dear Lord, please grant me patience. Because if you grant me strength, I'm gonna. I don't
have bail money
or something." Yeah.
Dear Lord, please grant me patience because if you grant me strength, I don't have the bail money.
Yeah.
If facts, I was talking to somebody. I want to say it was like last week, maybe a week and a half ago, and she goes, "People are wild today." I'm like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "How are you doing today?" Like, I can see it on your face. You got some concerns. And I looked at her and I said, "I'm not a religious person, but I pray to Jesus today." And she goes, "That's good though. That's a start." And I said, "No, I pray to Jesus that these people better remember that I'm praying to Jesus." She was like, "Yeah." Like she wanted me to get aggressive. And I'm just like, I'm not going to get aggressive, but I'm like, you see this look on my face? And this is my praying to Jesus look. And she's like, "Yeah." I was just like, if you see that, somebody's acting foolish and I'm praying to Jesus that Jesus lets some karma come in there, correct it, and gets them the hell out of my eyesight. And it was so funny because like 4 or 5 other times that I interacted with her, she was like, "I see Jesus." "I see Jesus." "Yes, you do."
Nice.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Balls are appropriately wrinkly and all that kind of good stuff?
Yes. Maybe
you should moisturize more than 4 times a day. You're like, fuck it. My balls get a nice bath. YOLO!
Then they'll be extra wrinkly for a bit.
Well, they just did the polar bear plunge here in Pierce County.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, in downtown Tacoma on the waterfront, every year they do the polar plunge, and that's to help support special needs and all that kind of stuff. Yes, and they all looked like they had inverted genital areas when they came out.
Yeah, there'll be some shrinkage.
I'm like one picture I saw, a guy had both of his nipples covered, and I was just like, yeah, that's not where I would be covering, but Yeah. I don't like ice baths. I don't like polar plunges because it makes every crack and crevice hurt, like ache in the worst way. Because there's good ache and bad ache, right?
Sure.
Well, it's better than what was the one you were chuckling about? I would rather have things ache than be Dixie-normous.
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember the Dixie-normous part, those
of the meme, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I would rather have my cracks and crevices ache than have to deal with Dixie-normous.
Okay. Dixie.
She looked mean. She looked mean. She looked like she could knock somebody's teeth out. She looked rough.
She looked like maybe
Fighting Irish.
Michelle Rodriguez's daughter.
Right?
And angry.
Thing or two. Oh, wait. Like Michelle Rodriguez angry, or just her daughter and she's angry about being Michelle Rodriguez's daughter?
Sure.
We got to be very specific with it. I like Michelle Rodriguez. I think she's
same.
great. I loved her in that D&D that everybody hates. I loved her in that Dungeons and Dragons movie. I thought she did a great representation of women's in strength, and but of course, I found that movie hilarious too.
Yeah, I mean,
I know. Yeah, there it is.
The movie it was okay, but it failed at being a D&D movie.
Well, the idea behind it was really good, and considering I think only one of the people that were actually in the movie are really actually pen and paper role player gamers, and that was the guy who played the, like, I think what was he, a cleric, or he was a magician or something, or wizard, damn it.
Okay, so the dude who played the sorcerer.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure in real life he has done some pen and paper role play gaming. I don't think the rest of them have. So
yeah, I know they played a game as sort of a kind of introduction to what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Michelle Rodriguez has been in on a game night or two, because her and Vin Diesel used to date, but they've also been best friend, like really close friends for like 25 years or whatever as well after dating.
Yeah.
Okay, so but somebody is in that movie, and that's my partner does not like that person except for in Star Trek.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's like, ugh, why, and I'm just like, whatever.
I think that's literally the only movie that I've watched that had him in it.
Oh, you've never seen This Is War with Tom Hardy and Reese Witherspoon?
No.
It's a rom-com, and it's freaking fantastic.
No, I've not seen that.
Star Trek Into Darkness?
Yeah, I definitely have not seen those Star Trek movies.
How the fuck are we friends sometimes? I hate Elder Scrolls. You haven't seen Star Trek Into Darkness with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Of course not. Of course,
it's a meeting of the minds. It's definitely not the meeting of the mentalities. That's for sure. Okay. So I liked the D&D. I liked the D&D movie. It was great, and it's because I don't play D&D. I understand the premise, and there were a few things where when I was watching it for the second or third time, where I was just like, "That's not right." And I knew it wasn't right. I knew it was not in the realm of what should have been in the world at that time. So I knew that because we've talked about pen and paper role play enough, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the one I liked even better, and people argue with me all the time, and I'm like, I don't care. It was enjoyable for me, and that's all that matters, and that was Warcraft.
I've not seen that. I've not seen the Warcraft movie.
You are not a gamer. I can't even believe that. It was so good. It really, really, to me, it was really, really good. It was a well-balanced story. It was fantastic.
I did and still do kind of want to watch it, but I've never watched it. I think it's on Netflix right now.
It might be on Netflix right now. I don't know. What I do know is that they were going to do another one, but the timing wasn't right or whatever, and they thought they would get more of a response than they did. And I thought they did fairly well for what the budget was, for what they earned on it. But I guess anymore, that's not enough money.
Yeah.
But it was a very, for me. And it's like I said, pen and paper role play, not my thing. But in the Dungeons and Dragons ones, I knew there were things that were out of step, out of place. I knew that.
Yeah.
But with the Warcraft one, I was just like, that's probable that this conflict would happen. And this would happen during the conflict, and the outcome could be this. That is probable, depending on how you play your game. And it was a very, like, when they talked about what the outcome was going to be, it was a very reasonable in-movie discussion about how it could be.
Yeah. Well, with the Warcraft, for one thing, it hasn't been around as long as D&D, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the races and classes in Warcraft are far simpler. There's much less, I don't want to say depth, but there's much less complexity with the various classes.
Okay.
Especially in kind of like the choices that you have to make to build your character into what you want it to be. It's far narrower because it has to be because of the video game.
Yeah.
And a lot of the mechanics aren't as obvious to all the players. I mean, some of them, they get super in depth into the statistics or whatever of each thing that you do and each power that you have and blah, blah, blah. But in Dungeons and Dragons, it's far more on the surface because you have to do the math.
Yeah.
And so as a result, people who play D&D know way more generally about what a paladin is supposed to be and what they are capable of.
Yeah.
Or what a sorcerer, which is what the magic user dude was, or what a druid, which is what the tiefling chick was. And what a barbarian, which is what Michelle Rodriguez's character was.
And she did, like, out of everybody there, her and the sorcerer, I absolutely just adored. I adored the way they handled themselves. I really, in that movie, I really enjoyed the way
so
they
my
crossed.
Problems with the movie have nothing to do with the actors.
Yeah.
Or their acting in the movie.
Yeah,
it has to do with the technicalities of what they're doing and the fact that they did a piss poor job of representing what D&D actually is.
Well, because they didn't have a director who was a D&D player, did they?
They had a Kevin Feige version. In other words,
Kevin Feige?
Yeah, Kevin Feige. So they had somebody who was
like,
over them.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Who was supposed to fucking keep them on, okay, this is what's supposed to happen. Yeah. This is what a fucking druid is capable of, not what they actually did with the druid.
There are so many, and I gotta say this, there are so many people who were on YouTube, who were on TikTok, who were on Reddit, who were on all these different platforms going, hey, I'm a DM and I know it, that they could get great consultation from. Even Vin Diesel has been playing for like 45 fucking years.
Yes.
Matthew Lillard, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
William Shatner, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
All these different people will actually play. So if you didn't...
Will Wheaton
should have oversaw that movie because I bet you it would have been even... For me, it would have been even better probably. Yeah. And for you, it would probably be not so angry.
I mean, they failed a bunch. It's not to say that the movie was bad. It's a bad D&D movie. It's not a bad movie.
Hey, there you go. That's the way to say it.
And just like 4th edition D&D was a bad D&D game, it's not a bad game. It's actually really cool. But they did so much to fuck with what D&D was that it made it... A lot of people hated it. So, this kind of... So they're supposed to be... You know who Brandon Sanderson is?
He's a writer, a very famous writer who's got like 118 books out there. Yes.
He doesn't have that many, but
I'm pretty sure he does because I recently saw a place that had a full bookshelf, all Brandon Sanderson, no double titles. So.
Yeah. Well, he's got like 3. Is it 3? He's got at least 2 series that have a fair number of books in each series.
Okay.
And then he's got a couple other series, like he's got a superhero series. He's got a series that is I think it's about like I've never read this series, so it's like Alcatraz.
Okay. And
I think it's basically like a Encyclopedia Brown or Hardy Boys type series, I do believe. And then he has the Cosmere, which is a bunch of interrelated series. Each one of them is a standalone series, but they're actually related to each other. And there's a character who goes between a bunch of the different worlds because they're actually on different planets. But anyway, the MistBorn, which is one of his earliest series and most popular. It's like MistBorn and Stormlight Archives are his 2 most popular ones, as far as I know. But the MistBorn series is supposed to be getting a movie. And he is actually writing, or at least doing the initial writing, of the script. So I'm kind of excited. I'm also a little bit worried, but it looks like he's getting a lot of almost an unprecedented amount of control over what the movie is going to be. Because it's really fucking cool. It's also like a heist. The very first book, MistBorn, is a heist novel. But it has magic.
Yeah. So he's written about 80 different books, novellas, blah, 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 blah. About 80 of them now. 71 and counting as of 2023. The guesstimate is now he's been involved in more. So it is 80. So I wasn't actually, I was only 20% off, which is just like measuring a penis. When a guy goes, I got 8 inches, you really got 6.5. It's all good. But, fair. If I'm within 20%, not knowing the author other than he's a famous author who's got a bunch of books, I think that's fair. So
it makes me think of one of my friends. We were talking about Stephen King. He's like, oh, he's got like 100 books. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's got 40. At that time, he had written 40 novels. And I was like, if you want to talk about something like that, you're talking like Isaac Asimov, who he put out a bunch of books, and that's on top of he was a college professor. So like that dude was insane. Although a lot of the books are shorter than what are typical novels nowadays, because this was back in like the 40s and 50s and shit. But yeah, it's really interesting. So Stephen King himself has done. Ooh, that's a lot. He's done more than 60, right? Okay. But there actually has done 67 underneath his name. One account says 67 plus the other one says 85. So who knows, right? Yeah. So in some of those he was writing under a different pen name, I assume? Yes. 7 of them he was under Richard Bachman, I think. Okay. It's kind of funny when we go somewhere and we feel like we're bombarded with these authors. We'll feel like yeah, I understand 80 to 118 is not 20% difference. It's more like 33.9, but I'm close enough. Just saying. So as of this moment, based on the different definition of books, novels, novellas, or all published works, the most prolific author includes Corin Tellado with over 4,000 works, and Ryoki Inoue with over 1,000, while Guinness World Records formally recognized L. Ron Hubbard with 1,084 pieces of work. Really? So it depends on your definition. So the Spanish romance writer, over 4,000 pieces of work. That includes over 400. They sold over 400 billion books. Ryoki Inoue is a Brazilian author holding the record for the most books published, which is 1,075. And that's primarily in thriller and sci-fi genre. And then L. Ron Hubbard, it has the most published works by one author, which is 1,084. And Barbara Cartlin is a romance author with 723 books published to her name. And that's insane. Yeah, that's crazy. L. Ron Hubbard, I wonder if they're counting each one of his articles. Yes, they're counting everything as articles. Okay. Yeah, because like the Battlefield Earth was a long-running series in like Sci-Fi magazine or something like that, and then it got consolidated into an actual novel, which is a fucking huge novel. But so it's really interesting because when I typed in what is the most books ever written by one author, it's still citing L. Ron Hubbard at 1,084, because his published works could be as short as a 10-page article. It's still his published work. Yeah. And as much as a big... But here's the most interesting thing. The last piece that he actually did was in 2006. And then when you go, what author has the most books of all time, it goes back to the Brazilian author Ryoki Inoue. And I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I'm not Brazilian. And it sounds like he's Japanese. It sounds like a... Nope. Brazilian author, Ryoki. Well, there's a huge Japanese group in Brazil. There's a huge bunch of people that move from Japan to Brazil. And the overall number one author in the entire world. In the entire world. The number one author. Guess who it is? I have no idea. I'm going to assume it's going to be a romance novel.
William Shakespeare.
Ah, okay.
There is not a single
Fair
number
enough.
one writer, so as greatness is subjective, but William Shakespeare is often cited due to his unmatched influence and impact on English language and the massive amounts of billions and billions and billions of copies sold. Billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, for one thing, he hits on multiple industries, right? So the fucking the theater industry is constantly redoing his stuff, which basically keeps him constantly in the public mind, which is a good thing for him, right? Or his estate, let's say, if his estate could still make money off of him, which it probably does. I mean, his stuff is all public at this point. It's all in the public domain, but you just say, well, I'm part of the estate of William Shakespeare and give me money.
Right. Seems like it, right? Well, and what's really interesting is when we talk about a little bit more modern, like the genres like that we probably more read or listen to. Obviously, we do a little bit of horror, a little bit of thriller, a little bit of this, that, and the other. Supernatural and sci-fi seem to go kind of hand in hand.
Yeah. I mean, sci-fi and fantasy are kind of synonyms, because technically anything that isn't real is fantasy, right? Which also science fiction is also
right.
Now, as far as the definition of the words themselves, they're the same thing.
Correct.
But as genres, they're significantly different. Yeah. Although there is some overlap, especially if you're watching stuff like Star Wars. It's space magic and shit.
So, we were spacemen in our space magic. So what's really interesting is when we talk about these more, now a lot of people might be more familiar with Stephen King because some of his best works were just, out there, put into movies.
Yeah, so many of his stuff has been put into movies.
Carrie, Cujo, Christine, which, just so you know, that's really creepy to have all those C names.
The Shining.
The Shining. Yeah, The Shining. It honestly, the movie, the miniseries It from the 1990s with Tim Curry and everything, I think that really catapulted more people really paying attention to Stephen King stuff because Carrie was done within 4 years of being written, and Cujo, I think the same thing. And then, but you've got all that, and I think more people just recognize him more because so much comes out at once. But the actual more popular modern writer, as far as the supernatural may go, is actually the one who's done more is actually Dean Koontz. Okay. Dean Koontz has written over 140 novels. That is just novels. That is not novellas. That is not articles, published works, co-authored. It's himself. And I have read quite a few of them. The one I most recently read was The House at the End of the World. And it was really good because it did not leave the exact same spin that you normally get in a Dean Koontz book, which is at the end of it all, there is, pretty much with Dean Koontz, for the most part, it ends up being that either a higher power or a higher moral compass or the higher draw to do good for humanity is what will conquer and win. That's not how it always is. Obviously, we know how Odd Thomas series ends. We know how it ends. And it's not what you and I would consider it's not what the average person would consider a great ending, obviously, right? And I just recently reread that, and it was just like, damn it. Why? But it ended the way it was supposed to end, which was not perfect. Yeah. It ended, and that's the thing. But yeah, he has written 140 novels. There is not what is considered one best. He has many tied, but of his 140 novels, 16 movies have been made out of those novels. Oh, wow. And that's something a lot of people don't realize because here's the thing. There are some really good, well done, in my opinion, because I've read the books and I love Dean Koontz and I love the ideology of good versus good can and will prevail. Yeah. And he's got two ideologies. Good can and will prevail, right? But the bigger ideology of what he puts out there is what is best for the situation, what is best for humankind is what's going to prevail. Now, for me, Stephen King, my favorite Stephen King movie happens to be Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
I love that. And that's
I think I've seen that one. That's the one with one of the friends of the friend group is a alien.
Yes.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. And believe it or not, that's actually Donnie Wahlberg put up in makeup to act as Henry. His name Henry? I don't remember.
I think so.
No, Henry's the guy who Thomas Jane plays.
Okay.
But anyways, so you've got Thomas Jane in it. You've got the English guy who looks like a very skinny version of my partner, which is really the redheaded guy with the big orange with the red beard.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He looks like his name is Damian Lewis, I think. But I'm not the only one who sees it, and they're like, "Whoa!" If your partner was like 75 pounds lighter, because that guy is only like 140 pounds, they're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah." I don't think he looks anything like Bear Grylls at all, or Josh, whatever his name is. There's a couple people have tried to say that in the past because of his size, because he's so strong and tall, and I'm like, no, he looks like this guy.
I mean, Bear Grylls is way smaller than.
Oh yeah. I know, but how people are, especially stupid people trying to get into stupid. Anyways, gonna let that go. So, anyways, so I really love Dreamcatchers. It's a very well done and all that. But my favorite Dean Koontz that's been the series is Odd Thomas. Obviously, it's done very, very well. And I really, R.I.P. Anton Yelchin. We've talked about him before.
Dude.
I would love, this is so crazy. It's going to sound so crazy, but the more I watch Tom Holland, the new Spider-Man, the more I think he could do the whole.
He could do a good,
He would do a fantastic, absolutely. And if you want to,
he plays good, kind of awkward and goofy.
Yes, The Devil in the Details is a movie that he did from back at it's set back in the 40s or 50s. And it's got him and Andrew Garfield in it. And let me tell you what, Tom Holland does a fantastic, impeccable job of conveying this angst that you have when trying to make the right decision and decide what is absolute good versus evil situation. It's super crazy. But anyways, so yeah, Dean Koontz has 16 movies done. And a lot of people don't recognize him because it's just like, oh no. Like Phantoms, actually a very good movie. I liked it. It's got Ben Affleck in it as the town sheriff. I actually liked it because it reminded me almost of 40 Days and Nights, that edge of, is it going to get better? Is it not? Are they going to prevail? So you got that. Another good one. Excuse me. Another really good one. Yeah, this is why we don't. This is why when we're cleaning, we need to wear face masks, because the dust and the pollens all come up and go, hello, how are you doing? Anyways, but Hideaway was a movie that had Jeremy Sisto. It was with Jeremy Sisto. It had Jeff Goldblum and Alicia not Silverspoon. What's her name from Clueless? Yeah,
I have no idea.
Alicia Silversmith?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, so she's in that, and it's a good movie. There's only one part in that whole movie where I understood why it was absolutely fucking stupid. No offense, Mr. Koontz. It's absolutely no offense, Mr. Goldblum. But so Jeff in the book, the Jeff Goldblum character is trying to convey something that he's seeing. So, which is great, but I see him do this in so many movies. He did it in Jurassic Park and he did it in Hideaway, where he's trying to convey something that he's feeling or emotion. And he's like, I'm and I can't stand it because it's like it's like really odd, and I'm seeing and I'm hearing and I'm thinking and I'm feeling, but it's not like he's actually in the moment of. He's supposed to be conveying what he sees in the killer's mind because he's connected to this killer, right?
Okay.
So he's supposed to be in the book that it's conveyed that, and the thoughts come streaming and the images come streaming and they're terrible. But he's like, he's literally just like, Ida. He's like, move his hands very awkwardly. And it's like, Jeff Goldblum, you did more believable actions pretending to be half man, half fly than you did of actually seeing what you were describing as demonic demons or images or whatever. I mean, he had so many different ways, but he did the same thing in Jurassic Park. Evolution's going to happen. And so I think, I feel, and it's just like, shit, stop it. So anyways, yeah. So I just think because we as humans have been more obsessed with gore and horror ever since the first zombie movie. So the first monster movies, we already know, we've talked about this before, go all the way back to like the early 1900s, 1920s. You've got your Lon Chaney's and all that. We've got our Frankensteins and our Wolfmans and our Draculas. Yeah. And then we have Romero in 60-something comes in and he does Night of the Living Dead. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we start as a culture, as a race, we start getting obsessed with these unimaginable monsters. Mm-hmm. What is more terrifying? There's two things that's more terrifying to me than a Frankenstein monster or a Wolfman monster or a Dracula. Because you know what? If Dracula wants to drink my blood, I'll never remember it. I'm just not going to remember it. It'll be done. It's over. It's done. Out. Got no more bills. Whatever. But we've become more obsessed with what if people came back from the dead. We've been very obsessed with the idea of zombies. But what's scarier than that is somebody who looks like a human, acts like a human, but has a mental superpower that can torture us all without ever raising a finger. That's Carrie in a nutshell right there. Telekinesis, Firestarter, Drew Barrymore, pyrokinesis. Mm-hmm. All these different horrifying things that people have that they can do with their mind. That we are obsessed with that. So what happens when we go from that obsession, and you can, if you're thinking about movies, so zombies come, oh, that's horrifying. People crawling out of the grave in the middle of the night, coming back home to Ma and Pa kettle and eating their brains in their sleep because, they have to, right? But that's how the early depiction was of these zombies, right?
Yeah.
So then we move on to what's more terrifying. Somebody who looks normal but ain't normal, and they've got powers of the mind. They never have to touch you. They don't even have to be in the same room as you. All they have to do is think of you, and they can torture you and kill you, and oh my God.
Witches.
Right. Witches be crazy, yo. So we get through that, right? And then we kind of have this culture shock where people are like, wait a minute, but what if the robots rise? So then we're getting into the Terminators, and then people go, hold on, this shit's too real for me. We need to laugh a little bit. Oh crap, we've got to repopulate the earth, then the romance novel. So everything kind of comes and flows, right?
Yeah.
So here we are in the modern age that we are now. And when we look at the Stephen King stuff that we like The Stand better. You know what I'm saying? We like Under the Dome better because these are creepy things that are supernatural in nature. Why'd they happen? So we want to be mystified. And that's one thing that Dean Koontz novels can convey properly is forces beyond what we think are there. Mm. Because there's some of his stuff that I've read it and I'm like, listen, Linda, I don't care how much of an expert shot you are. There's the hell's her name? It's Jane Hawk's series. So he has another. So he's got, as far as series goes, Dean Koontz has Odd Thomas. Mm-hmm. Again, I vote for Tom Holland to
play Odd.
Play Oddie. Have Odd Thomas come in and play Oddie. And I think he would do, because, he's a natural athlete and gymnast.
Yeah.
And dancer. So there's things that even though R.I.P. Anton Yelchin could do, that I think Holland could even be able to do even better. Because what is just, have you heard the Odd Thomas series?
I listened to the first book and that's it.
You has listened to all of them. Mm. You need to, because it's such a good, I'm telling you, from beginning to end, it's such a good series. And even though it ends in a way, and Martin and I had this conversation before, even though it ends in a way that you don't want it to end, it's actually what's best for the situation. Mm. And you understand why. By time you get to book 6 or whatever, the final book, Forever Odd, by time you get to Forever Odd, you completely understand why it has to happen that way. But anyways, he has this other series. It's not as much. It's called the Jane Hawk series.
Okay.
So it's a 5-book series, and some of the books are like 700-800 pages or whatever. They're very long. And here's the thing about it. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you practice, you're not going to be perfect at anything. You're going to have near misses.
Yeah.
He conveys so well when this character has missteps. It's like, it makes you believe that what they've done is something. Look, I think Dean Koontz knows what's really going on behind the scenes in the world, because if you were to read the Jane Hawk series and how believable it is where things are not perfect, and his character, his protagonist, she's not perfect, but it's his main protagonist and heroine, like all wrapped in. She's like everything.
Wait, there's a female protagonist that isn't perfect?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But here's the thing: when
take notes, fucking people.
Yeah, women are not perfect. Oh my goodness! But here's the thing about it. So,
anything you can do, I can do better.
I can do anything better than you. Who me? Yes, you. Yes, me. It is so well written. Now, it is a long and it was a tedious process. And here I need to revisit it. And the reason I need to revisit it is because I love Jim Butcher. I am addicted to Jim Butcher. I'm addicted to Harry Dresden. Please don't kill him anytime soon. Please keep him going, because he gives me hope for a different world that I love. I love. I love. Now, having said that,
for the Czar-Lord.
For the Czar-Lord. God, Toot, I love you so much. I want him to keep writing books. Now, at this point, he's been writing Dresden for 20 years, and Toot.
He needs to do a children's series that's
based on Toot.
Yeah.
Yes. Knocks awesome. On that. Boom. Okay. So, because in the middle of reading this Jane Hawk series, and it was while I was waiting for other Dresden books, I initially was just like, whatever. I just got to finish the series because I've read this far. The premise of the books, the premise of the story, how it plays out is so realistic. You honestly would probably go, that is quite probable that could happen in today's day and age with the technology we have. It is that creepy real. So I think Dean Koontz has got like a secret society pass or whatever. Be like, listen, y'all better mind your P's and Q's or this is going to happen to you.
Did you read the Demon book?
The Demon Accords?
Yeah. No, just Demon.
I know.
Damon.
It's the computer thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the big CPU thing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Did you read Freedom TM?
I don't think so.
The second book?
I don't think so. I think you just talked to me about it because you let me borrow the Demon book.
Yeah, because I never bought a physical copy of Freedom. I had a physical copy of Demon.
Yeah, because I read your copy and I was just like, that's creepy.
I want some angel's teeth.
As much as that's a high... So here's the thing. As much as you read Demon or Damon, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
As much as you read that, you're like, whoa, that is a probability with the way we're going. Especially when you think about it now. The way we're going with AI and the boom in AI.
Yeah.
Which that bubble is about to burst like really quick, but...
Well, here's my problem with people talking about AI being a bubble. It is and it isn't, just like the .com bubble, right?
Right.
It was, the bubble wasn't .com itself. It was people's overestimation of how much money they were going to make off of something. So it's not like, obviously the .com bubble burst, but obviously the internet is still fucking here and it's even bigger deal than it was then.
Yeah.
The same thing I predict is going to happen with AI. Okay, although fair. It will probably be less of a shock to the economy.
I don't know, because these advancements in AI are great, but you've already got one of the biggest credit card processing companies that's laying off a quarter to a third of its workforce, going, AI has covered everything for us. We don't need this. We can cut expenses. We can cut costs for everybody. But you're still putting almost 4,000 people out of work. And then you've got other people going, well, AI needs to be monitored by humans. Well, that's fine.
It does currently.
Yeah, but it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not even a 1-to-2 ratio. They were talking about it should be a 1-to-10 ratio. And then somebody else went, nah, it can be 1-to-100 ratio. So there again, you're eliminating jobs.
Yeah, it depends upon, well, you could say it's 1-to-100. I don't know as a single person would be able to keep up with that much, because you have to monitor what it's doing.
Yeah.
And make sure that the output is correct.
Right.
And I mean, in a lot of cases, like with our transcripts and stuff, it's not that big a deal. But when you're talking about a bunch of people's money and you have AI doing the book work for them, you're going to get fucked really fast when this shit's wrong.
And that's the same theory that's going on with all of these credit card processing that where they're taking people away from this, is because the next thing they're going to do is they're going to use AI as predictability factors for home loans, for everything out there, which they already kind of are. There is an algorithm where they use, and there are key things they're looking for. Yeah. But we're taking the human factor out of everything. And
I mean, in some cases that's for the best.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, the Earth has always been adapt or die. It hasn't changed at all.
And here's the thing is, but we are so uppity in our brains going, oh, this is going to make everything better. You can adapt or die to AI, and that's not how it needs to be. People are, we talked about this, gnome your garden, man, because you need to know the basic principles. That's cool. You want to, I've got AI. I can learn when I need to. Cool. But what happens when the infrastructure goes down? You have no internet and you didn't download fucking shit.
Yeah, because I already downloaded Wikipedia. And
okay, so you get to be the corn billionaire when the apocalypse happens. Everybody be, oh, Mr. Dagda, here, I've got an ear of corn. Can you tell me how to plant tomatoes now?
Yep. Also, I'll be burning off porn.
Right.
I'll be the corn.
I will be burning off porn scripts for your live action. No, ladies, just listen to me. You don't need to go off with Jim Beam over there. Just come with me and I will teach you how to do porn right.
Shakespeare and porn. Yeah.
What boobies through yonder window break? It is my dick ready to insert into your son. No! You're rotten. Hark what light through yonder window breaks. It is the east and Juliet is the sun. I know a little Shakespeare. I know enough to know that a rose by any other name is still a fucking rose. Speaking of roses, hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy. So anyways, back to the books and the authors and the stuff, because so I don't think I gave the Jane Hawk series a fair shake, but what Dean Koontz did really well is it is so I know there's somebody right there putting their finger on their nose going ding, 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 ding. That's why I minimize my time on the interwebs too, because it could really happen. And it really, I'm telling you, it is so well written, and the probability of how it could happen, it's like, there is somebody out there who's already making this shit happen somewhere, like probably down in Papua New Guinea or something. I don't know. But it's creepy how realistic it's written with so much data, like information behind it. And the creepier thing is, the one thing I can't stand and I'm freaked out by is the idea of nanotech. Okay. Nanotech is something they're perfecting, and they've been working on it, perfecting for a very long time. Yeah. But it's like when you read the books and you hear the application of the nanotechs, and it's just like, that's exactly what we're trying to get nanotech to do, but we're not trying to. It's the nanotech that attacks the brain. That's not what we want nanotech for. We want nanotech to go in and repair our bodies. Yeah. And clean our arteries. And it's just like, we're already getting there. Holy crap, somebody's going to figure out this, Oh, no. But I wish they did more Dean Koontz books. I mean, I've seen several of the movies. I've seen Watchers. I've seen Phantoms. I've seen, obviously, Odd Thomas, Hideaway. There's more out there. I just can't remember them off the top of my head because they are quite spread out. They've even done some of the movies not as like mainstream movies, but like as TV movies. And it's really, there's a couple of good ones they've done. What is it? Cold Ones or something like that. About one of the ones they've done as a TV movie is about a serial killer. And this lady gets caught in this office building with him, and it's creepy as shit. But that's the one thing Dean Koontz does. He balances that supernatural with a realistic, like he brings it both together, and that's what creeps me out. If I had to pick between King or Koontz, I'm picking Koontz every day of the week because I like the aspect of, well, miracles do happen, I suppose. But I like the aspect of what's best for the situation, good, bad, or indifferent. Because, like I said, I just finished reading the book, "The House at the End of the World," and that was a fucking trip. That was a trip and a half. And then, of course, the Jane Hawk series. I would love to see them bring that to life. And I think for me personally, just the acting style and based on like all the descriptors of this Jane Hawk person, I would love to see Sarah Michelle Gellar play Jane Hawk.
Nice.
I think she would be fantastic. And oh, I'm so sorry. I did just read, bless you, that the Buffy reboot that they were working on got canceled. It did not get picked up by Hulu and has not been picked up by any other streaming service either. So that's and I'm just amazed by that because Chloe Zhao is an amazing director and she was the one behind it. Sarah Michelle Gellar was in it, and Hulu just said no. So that makes me a little sad. But Jane Hawk, I'm going to, even though it's out of your norm, because it's more kind of it's more thriller.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I think it would be a very good listen for you. And it should be available audiobooks through the library. You know, so that would be, but I think you would actually enjoy it because it is so brainiac. And of course, Dean Koontz, like many other writers out there, when he actually talks about using weapons, he's very detailed about the weapons and the information on them and like all the statistics and all that good stuff and all the, not dimensions, come on, specs.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very good. But yeah, I mean, I love Stephen King. He's done a lot of great stuff, but yeah, I could totally Koontz it out, man.
Yeah, I've never read a Stephen King. Well, that's a lie. I read one Stephen King book, and that was his autobiography. Not his autobiography, his book on writing.
Right.
Which had a lot of autobiographical stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about his wife and his accident and stuff like that and whatnot.
Well, he's got a son who's a writer, too.
Yeah.
And I could not get into the book his son wrote to save my life. But I like the movie. One of the books that his son wrote is I love the movie.
Okay.
The Black Phone, the movie with Ethan Hawke as the serial killer.
That's
Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's name, or his son's name. So Joe Hill did the...
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen King, I mean, I'm surprised you haven't listened to it on Audible. I get that it's like 1,000 pages and it's super long, but it's minus the one scene. Everything else is so, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's not even talk about that part again. But anyways,
you've caused me to think about two separate,
issues.
Epic rap battles.
Oh gosh.
Because there's Pennywise versus Joker. Which is a fantastic one. And it talks about that scene, actually. It mentions it. And then there's Stephen King versus Edgar Allan Poe, which is also a fucking great one. Not to mention the rappers for that. It's
Rhett and Link, isn't it?
No. God damn it. I just had his name in my head. God damn it. I can't remember. The dude who did, who was also Shakespeare. The dude who rapped super fast. Binky? Not Binky. I can't remember.
Okay.
But both of them, they're not the regular, it's not Nice Peter and Epic Lloyd that do this one. The Pennywise versus Joker are Nice Peter and Epic Lloyd. But this one is two different dudes who are fantastic. Also, it is fucking great.
Nice. Well, it's like, I said to you the other day, I said, we could do an entire podcast just about Dresden.
Yeah.
We literally could do 10 episodes about each book.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then we could rewrite our Dreamcast based on a few different aspects that I'm not going to say because there is somebody in LA listening to our stuff and I don't want them to be an idea stealer. I'm just saying. A
hilarious thing that came up because I watched the Intentionally Left Blank, I think is the name of the podcast. It's Brandon Sanderson and one of his other writer friends.
Okay.
And one of the things they were talking about is some of the people's dream casts for
MistBorn.
MistBorn.
Okay.
And one of them was basically Henry Cavill playing all the fucking characters. Henry Cavill would be great in the MistBorn as the survivor dude. I can't remember. Kelsier, I think his name is. He would be awesome as the sort of mentor fucking super dude. He would also be awesome as fucking what, Calandris? I can't remember. It's another name that starts with a K, not Kelsier, but something similar. In the Stormlight archives.
Okay. As
the fucking sort of, he's not really the main dude, but you follow him a lot.
Okay.
He would be awesome as that dude.
You know, there are a lot of great actors out there that could fill many roles.
Yeah.
When I talk about my Dresden Dreamcast, my dream casting for Dresden, it's
Henry Cavill for all the characters.
Henry Cavill. No, I am 1,000,000% Team Jacob Elordi for Harry. After seeing his performance in Frankenstein,
okay,
you can't make me unsee it. You need to watch Frankenstein. Okay. I think you would really get it because you like Oscar Isaac, or Isaac Oscars or whatever. He's the guy who was the Moon Knight.
Okay,
that you like him. You really like that actor.
I have friends that hate him.
Well, boo-hoo. Anyways, you have a friend who likes him.
Yeah.
But
you got a friend in Jesus. Anyway.
You got a friend in Jenny. Anyways.
Fucking weirdo.
Jesus is with me today, I'm telling you right now. I love talking about the Dreamcast for the Dreamcasting for Dresden, because one of the other things that happened since we wrapped recording of that, I've been kind of a little bit sad, because I'm just like, well, now who's going to be my Dreamcast? Now I've envisioned it with the Harry Potter kids. All of the whole thing. Every single person that was in the Harry Potter movies, I'm like, I've got a place for you in Dresden's world. I know who's going to be what.
Radcliffe as Butters.
Smooth like Radcliffe. And we saw that. Do you know, crazy, I know we got to wrap up. I typed in Harry Potter today into Pixabay.
Okay.
And it brought up a shit ton of Daniel Radcliffe pictures.
Okay.
And he's dressed like that one picture we saw. He's dressed like Dresden with a duster on. I've seen a couple of those. I'm like, what? But he's also dressed like a PI. And so it's crazy.
That would be hilarious. I mean, just having him part of the cast at all would be awesome.
Yes.
Because of the implications.
I think there's 3 rules for Dreamcasting Dresden. So Jim Butcher, pay attention, because I think you'll agree with this. 1, James Marsters must be involved.
Must.
Even if
he's just doing the voice of
Bob.
Bob, that would be amazing.
And he can also do the voice of Bonnie, because he throws a very, he can throw a young child's voice really well.
Yeah.
But, so here's my 3 rules of Dresden casting. James Marsters must be involved.
Yes. Please, dear God.
Please, dear Jesus. Paul Blackstone, who played the original iteration of Harry Dresden, he must make at least 1 cameo or be part of the White Council. Perhaps the Supreme Dickhead Leader. But he needs to be in at least 1 episode.
Be the Marlin, or the Merlin.
Be the Merlin. He could be the Merlin. My final thing, and you can choose between 2 different characters. We'll say that. My choice would be for Mortimer, and that needs to be played by Jim Butcher himself. Jim Butcher must be in himself. And I give him either Mortimer, who is on that fence of he's got more talent than he thinks, and he's
braver than what he thinks, too.
He's braver than what he thinks. He has more talent than what he thinks, but his heart is bigger than what anybody knows. Not only that, but he becomes a very good ally and friend to Dresden. And if you notice when we talk about 12 months and him and Morty meet up, it's like the satisfaction and the joy he gets knowing that he's considered a close confidant, friend, and respected more by Dresden is great. So you've got that extreme. So you have somebody who's in the magical world that has all these abilities, and Dresden like literally plays it out like, I didn't give you enough credit. And you still kept doing what you're like. I'm getting emotional about it because I'm so engaged in the books to this point. So that I think Jim Butcher. Now, should Mortimer have hair? Not as glorious as Jim Butcher's hair was, but Jim Butcher's short haircut. Sure, he could do. He could wear a skull cap. Nobody has to know. It's fine.
Yeah, he can shave his head for a couple of weeks to.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hair. His hair grows back apparently very well, you know. But I mean, Mortimer has more of a cul-de-sac, and whereas Butcher's got widow's peaks. But, you know, he can work it out. Anyways, or he can be the bookshop owner who's afraid of everything.
Oh, yeah.
He could be either one of those characters and do very well.
Bach,
yeah. He could be him because, you know, you've got this character who doesn't believe in all this stuff. And then all of a sudden he's like, I believe. Not only do I believe, fuck you, I'm going to get you first.
I will say this. He might be good as Mac. Because the person whoever's playing Mac is not going to have hardly any lines.
Mark Strong, I'm telling you.
And so he doesn't have to be as good of an actor necessarily. But then again, Bach, you hardly ever see him. You only see him like maybe 5 times.
About 6 times. Okay, so here's the reason why I didn't pick something like McAnally. Because Jim Butcher is not an actor, right? He knows how McAnally is. He knows how each of his characters are, right?
Yes.
But Mac is a silent, strong character. Now, while Jim Butcher is not a tiny little, you know...
wilting flower?
Yeah, thank you, because I was going to say a different word, and you would have been like, oh my God, why'd you say that? Anyways, he's also not as big as what
you imagine
Mac to be. Because you literally, when you look at Mark Strong, you literally look at Mark Strong and go, that is Mac. Because he's athletic, he's built, he's bald, he's very powerful, he emotes. Mark Strong is one of those actors who emotes a lot with his facial expressions. And he also emotes a lot without facial expressions. Yeah. Like with his size, which the way he'll glance over at you. But why I picked Morty and the bookseller, because one, the bookseller is kind of one of those creepy assholes that you just want to smack around a little bit and be like, look, you know, you need to support us here. Because once he finally realizes, shit, I've been doing the wrong thing. Yeah. He corrects, self-corrects, and overcorrects, and that's fine. So he has the option of playing out that character that a lot of people really don't like and have come to hate. Like, honestly, like, right? But why I think Mortimer more is because Mortimer is this character who is so misunderstood for so long in the series. And so the way he presents himself to Harry in the moment where they get together after the big battle and they're talking during 12 months and he's basically like, thank you for noticing the steps I've taken, you know, because like literally Harry sits back and realizes he's a guardian and that I get emotional because I hate the fact that they kill off characters I love, but the fact that he sits there and he conveys that Morty has actually been protecting Harry because Karen's been ready to move on for quite a while. So I think Jim Butcher, it would be a great way for Jim Butcher to let that character go in the most appropriate fashion. But anyways, those are my 3 must-haves. Jim Marsters being the most important to that, only because Jim's Butcher's mind may have created this world, but James Marsters' voice has brought it to life for me. Yeah. And I'm not emotional like this. Normally, it's just I really love this series, and I know we're getting close. We're down into we're into the 4th quarter with this series, and it's gonna be sad to see it go away. Yeah. You know, but yeah. Anyways, obviously Butcher always wins. That's how it is. But if it was between King and Koontz, I'm gonna go with Koontz. I think there's far more viability with what he does. He's God, he's in his 80s now. It's crazy. And there's definitely some. I love how he incorporates a lot of animals into his story too.
Okay, but there's Cujo.
Good animals into his story. You're so rotten. Anyways, I'm hoping everybody has a fantastic day out there because I think I need to go blow my nose. Stupid allergies. Jeez.
Gosh. All right.
And don't be crying over just a story character. Screw you. I loved Karen. You just don't know. And I will die on that hill that Dylan Spraysbury should play Billy the Werewolf. I will die on that hill. Okay. I can show you. I can turn on my Netflix and I can be like, this is why. Look, he is a werewolf here. Oh, and he does such a good job. He's built just like Billy is.
Okay.
So hey, Butcher, if you were influenced by that, good influence. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day out there.
Yeah, later.
Bye. Okay, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.